Hello everyone, I am Punya Agarwal, ACCA affiliate and one of the admins of Being ACCA. And in this video, I'll be continuing the BT Kit Solving series, and we'll be doing chapter number 2, which is Business Organization and Structure. So this is a very basic chapter which contains your different types of structures. There's marketing, there's pricing, all of these topics are there in this chapter. And there are, I think, 20 to 25 questions in this kit regarding this chapter. So let's begin. First question is, which of the following statements regarding the entrepreneurial structure? So here we're talking about the entrepreneurial structure is correct. So if you know the entrepreneurial, you know that there is only one person who is the main aspect of the organization, and he is only doing everything. Of course, he can have employees under him or her, but then there are no divisions or there are no levels in the organization. It's just the one person who is managing the organization. So let's see, we have to find out the correct statement. It allows the defined career paths for employees. Of course, no. In an organization where there's only one person majorly in power, he or she won't be focused on the career paths of the employees. This thing is only possible when we are talking in like large organizations where they have goal congruence in regarding the employees and the organization as a whole. So this is not the correct answer. It often enjoys strong goal congruence throughout the organization. This is correct. Why this is correct? Because goal congruence means, if we take as a in an organization where there are uh, for example, three people. Now, goal congruence is all of these three people think that revenue should be increased by 10% or their marketing cost should be reduced by 5%. So this is a goal congruence which all of these three people have. Now in organizations there can be conflict within these. This person can say that no, the revenue has to increase by 20%. This person can say no, 10% is fine. This person can say I don't care. So this is not an example of goal congruence. So if there's only one person, he or she is only making every rules and regulations, every goal regarding the organization. So that is the reason they will this type of an organization will have more goal congruence in respect of the other organizations. Let's read the third one as well. It can normally cope with significant diversification and growth. Usually this is not the correct answer. This is not in relation to your entrepreneurial structure. Why? Because entrepreneur is a very small organization, because obviously the one only one person is handling everything. So basically diversification and growth is very limited to these types of organization. If they want to diversify or grow, they have to increase their structure and they have to incorporate or inculcate other employees or other status or other levels in the organization as well. So I hope this question is clear. Which of the following is a disadvantage of functional structure? So, if you know functional structure, when the organization is divided into different types of functions, for example, HR can be one, finance can be one, your marketing can be one, your accounting can be one. So, all of these are functions in an organization. So, then there's a main, for example, CEO here. So, this is divided like this. So disadvantage is lack of economies of skill. Actually, this is an advantage of functional types of structures, because here you can achieve economies of skill very easily. There's no duplication of work that is being happening, right? Absence of standardization, obviously not. This is again an advantage of functional structure, that standardization takes place here. Why? Because in standardization basically means that your processes or whatever you're doing in the organization are standard, they're not changing. So if the task of HR remains with the task of HR. The person who is working in finance doesn't have to do the work of HR, and again the standardization would be met, because the person would have this. There would be specialty actually, right? The person who is working in HR would have a specialty in their domain, right? Next, specialist will feel isolated. Not at all. They'll actually feel happy because they're happy working in their own in their own department, in their own functional structure, right? Empire building is thus an disadvantage of your functional structure, and these are all your advantages of the functional structure. So yeah, I hope this is clear. Next part, question number 13. Each company makes a variety of unrelated products. So unrelated products is one, including bicycles, furniture, and electronics. It is aware that each of these products requires very different strategies and functions. Each wishes to use a structure that will allow for each product to be to be managed separately, but wishes to minimize its overall administrative cost. So now, which of the following organization structures will be more appropriate for this? So if you know what are all the structures in the organizational structures, then you would know that if we are dividing our organization in terms of products, and that to their unrelated products, then it definitely will be divisional, right? Divisional structure. So I'll just explain. Entrepreneur, we discussed above that there's only one person who is managing it, so of course there will be no divisions as such. Functional is mainly according to your functions like HR, accounting, financing, marketing, all of these. So of course, within the, for example, there are two products, product number one and product number two. Of course, uh, uh, inside these there will be functions, functional structure, but majority will be dividing it according to the divisional one, right? So that is the reason divisional structure is the correct answer over here. I hope this is clear. Next part. Which of the following structure results in potential loss of control potential loss of control over key operating decisions and reduction in goal congruence? So matrix is actually not the correct answer, because matrix is a combination of your functional plus your divisional structure. So there cannot be a loss of control over here, because here we're actually combining the powers and advantages of functional and divisional structure. Now entrepreneur, again, as we discussed above, that there is a strong goal congruence, especially in the entrepreneurial. So this is not the correct answer. In functional one, you cannot have a loss of control key components. Why? Because you cannot, because it is directly linked to your senior, the CEO, for example, right? CEO is there, and then directly you have the functions over here. In geographic, for that matter, because see, for example, I have a company in India, right? I have a company over here, and within and now, because my my type of a product demands that I think that my product is very favorable for all parts of India. So example, north is there, west is there, south and there is, east is there. So I made a structure, like I divided my organization into North India, West India, South India, and East India. So now I have four structures. So if my headquarters are in North India, there will be it will be very difficult for me to look to know keep on looking at the south division, and there will be loss of control for sure, because they'll be, I can't oversee them every time, every point of time, right? And there can be goal congruence. Why? Because people sitting in north cannot have same goal congruency as people sitting in south of India. There's major difference, and this is in India. We can also have like divisions across the world as well, and that will create a very bad that will also create a very disadvantaged situation for the company, because then again we will be having a lot of problems in the control part. Loss of control will be there, and also the reduction in the goal congruence. That is why this is the correct answer. So you should just know what are the four options that are available to you, and then you can of course move by either by your elimination method or by the fact that I just discussed this, right? Okay, next question. Are the following statements true or false? Tall organizations typically have narrow spans of control. So if you know tall organization, this is basically, for example, there's a head here, he is the CEO. Then you have two departments over here, and for example, department number A, department number B. Now here another person is there who is department number A, department number B. इसके अंदर भी you have department number A, department number B. So if you see, you do not, this is narrow, this is very narrow in nature. This is not wide. You do not have a wide span of control. Span of control means that one person is managing how many people at once. So here a person maximum is having two people at under him once. Here also this is there. But if you see in the other type of the other flat type of organizations, if you see in flat organization, what we generally have is CEO is there, and under him two people are working, for example A and B. And now under A, supposedly five people are working, and under B six people are working. So here we have wide span of control, because under A there are five people working, and under B there are six people working, and and the tall organization only two people were working. So obviously it has narrow span of control. So this is correct. Then sorry. Then a flat organization is one which has shorter scalar chain. Of course, that is a scalar chain. Of course, becomes short. Scalar chain is, again, I'll just explain you. Scalar chain is basically the levels that you have in an organization. So when we discussed about tall structure, we had like the CEO, then there was one department, then there was B department, then another, then another. Now, if you talk about the flat one, of course, your scalar chain reduces, because then only one, this maybe the organization finishes at this point in time. These five people are not heading any other people below them. So this is the reason that this will have a shorter span of control. So I hope this is clear. I explained the concept of tall and flat organizations as well in this question. So let's move forward. Consider the following benefits. Which of these are advantages of centralization of decision making within an organization? So I hope that you know what is centralization of decision making. Centralization basically means that all of the decision and that all of the powers are within the top level management of the company, and the lower level of management do not have a lot of powers and a lot of autonomy, and they're not in the decision making power basically in the organization. So we have to discuss the advantages of such type of structure. Okay, reduce training costs within the organization for sure, because training cost within the organization, because in decentralization, even your daily your operational managers, they are also taking very important decisions. So of course they have to be trained for them by for that by the upper level management, or the top level management. So that is the reason training costs would obviously be saved if they are not making any decision. They're just working on the orders or the rules and regulations which are made by the top level management. Better local decisions due to local expertise. This is an advantage of your decentralized zation of the organization. So this is not. Then you have your better motivation of staff. Of course, this is also not. This is again an advantage of your decentralized organization. Reduction in suboptimal behavior. This is correct, because now suboptimal behavior is when you're not working to your 100% capacity. So now, because of course, because the lower level management won't have any power, so of course this will reduce the suboptimal behavior that they will be showing in decentralized organizations. So I think 1 and 4 are correct. Do we have an option? Yeah, we have D option, which will be correct. 17th question. As companies planning to outsource all of its functions, okay, outsource all of its functions to third party suppliers, even those that it feels are core activities, and which give the company competitive advantage in the marketplace. Which boundaryless structure is as planning to? Of course, this is virtual. In virtual, you actually outsource or offshore all of your activities, even if it is core or non-core, right? This is the feature of your virtual. An example which I like to give you is your online retailers, right? They buy products from somewhere, some manufacturer, so that is the outsourcing. Then for the delivery also, they choose like a third party organization to make the deliveries happen. So if you're somebody who buys goods online, for example, an Instagram store, or like Amazon, Flipkart, or all of these. Of course, for example, if I own an Instagram store and I am the person, of course I'll not be manufacturing the things. I'll be taking those products from somewhere. That is I have outsourced my manufacturing. Then I'll be selling those goods to you via a third party, um third party delivery app or delivery service, something. So this is like another outsource. I've outsourced everything. I've outsourced my manufacturing, I've outsourced my delivery, everything. So that is the reason that virtual is correct, right? If you talk about hollow structures, in hollow structures also we do outshore our outsource or offshore our activities, but only and only non-core activities in hollow structure. For example, if I am a big four, for example Deloitte or EY, right? They are specialized in audit, taxation, consulting. Now these are the core activities. They do not offshore this for sure, right? But they can outshore activities such as HR. They're not proficient in HR. They can do that. They can maybe offshore their marketing. marketing team. So this is again, so this is known as hollow structure. If EY or Deloitte or some other company is doing this kind of a thing, then they're known as hollow structures, right? So this was that. Next question. S manufactures nor motor vehicles. She has recently decided to stop the manufacturing of car windows and instead will buy the windows ready made from an external supplier. So earlier, when she was making her car, she was making all the parts on her own. Now what she'll be doing is she'll be outsourcing some of the parts of the car to some third party. The remaining components of the motor vehicle will continue to be made by the Sandra, which can be the core components, maybe, if you see, right? Okay. Which of the following structural components does S plan most clearly match to? Virtual, we just discussed, it cannot be virtual. Shared services, again, it's not a service based organization, so it's not shared services agreement. Matrix is again not an example because matrix is a combination of your functional plus your divisional. Here it is your modular because here she is actually manufacturing some of the parts which can be core elements of your car, and rest she is outsourcing to the third party, which she earlier used to manufacture on her own. So this is your modular type of structure. Next question. Offshoring refers to the transfer of existing staff members to other countries with low. No, 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 no. This is false. Offshoring is not transfer of your existing members. Offshoring is transfer of your existing services or existing things that you used to do in the organization, and now somebody else will be doing it on behalf of you, and you will be paying for the services. This is offshoring or outsourcing. Next question. Adopting a shared services approach. Just a minute. Adopting a shared services approach refers to the centralization of an internal service within the organization. The operations of an internal services will be unaffected. No, this is actually the wrong answer. This is false because it is not centralization. Here you actually streamline your services, right? You streamline your services and and often this leads to service charging the other parties of the business to use its resources. Like, of course, you run a business like that, right? So this is like streamlining your services, and it's not related to your centralization of the internal services within the organization, right? Then your 21st question. Stark Limited is a company that currently manufactures metal tubing. It has recently decided to open a series of new manufacturing plants within country H, which it believes will help into breaking the European market. So this is your which level of strategy planning would be decision. So this is a very, very big decision. This is a very big decision that they're making, that they will also be, breaking into the European market. They'll be manufacturing new products, there'll be new manufacturing plants. So of course the strategy, the level of strategy planning will be strategic, right? This will be strategic because of course these cannot be the option because they are related more to the day-to-day functioning of the business. This is related to more of your departmental level or decision that they are making. Strategic or the top level management, which makes the major big decisions of the company, will be categorized into this type of planning. Okay. 22nd. According to Anthony's hierarchy, so Anthony's hierarchy, you know that there was top level management, which was strategic basically. Then you have middle level management, which is tactical, and then lower level management, which is operational. There are three levels of planning within an organization. Which level of planning is usually undertaken by organization? Junior management. So as we discussed earlier as well, it will be operational level management, right? It will be operational level management. Applied is not a hierarchy or series in the model. When considering the role of different departments, which of the following is likely to be concerned with identifying and satisfying customer needs? So if you know the definition of marketing, this is the definition of marketing, and there's a major difference between your marketing and selling. Marketing is basically selling is a part of marketing. I've seen so many students that get confused between marketing and selling, but in selling you are just, if for example I am a person who is selling you the product, so only buying and only buying happens over here. Like that means I'm just transferring you to the goods. But in marketing there are many other aspects. I'll identify my customers, I'll see the target market, I'll see if my customer will be my god. I'll see if I'm effectively and efficiently providing my services to him or her, the customer. So that is the reason this is correct. This is actually the definition of marketing. Okay. An online retailer uses the four P's of marketing mix model should an online retailer using the four P's marketing mix model should categorize its website under the place of under the category of place. This is correct answer, because of course if I am online, this is the place I'm selling my products at. If I would have been offline, I would be having a physical shop of mine. That will be the place that I'm selling the product. So now for an online person, if for example I have an Instagram page and I am selling my products over that Instagram page, so that Instagram page will be my place of selling the products in the four P's of marketing, right? And just to recap, four P's are price, place, product, and promotion. Okay, next. A company with a marketing orientation believes that marketing orientation, not product orientation. So there are two types of orientations which we can have. One is the product one and one is the marketing one. So let's read all of the statements. Products should be sold actively and aggressively. This is actually your product orientation, or selling orientation. This is not your marketing orientation. Then next part, meeting customer needs better than competitors is the key to corporate success. This can be your answer, but let's read the other statements as well. The level of sales, advertising, sales promotion is key to corporate success. Again, this is your selling perspective, selling orientation or product orientation. Producing goods and services of optimum quality is the key to corporate success. So obviously this is an aspect. If you see, many students will be confused between B and D, but why D is not an option? Because here we are only talking about like the quality of the product. We also have to talk about the customer needs. We also have to talk about the pricing needs. Of course, if I am keeping the products at optimum quantity, maybe the prices also increases, which is not acceptable to my customers. So I have to keep the customer needs also in my mind, right? So of course, B will be your correct answer. Next question. The use of basic rather than extended marketing mix is more appropriate when a company directly interacts with customers such as supermarket, specializes in the manufacturing of computer components that are then sold onto an intermediary, provides services such as telecommunications, aims to minimize its expenditure on marketing. So if you talk about the basic rather than extended, basic rather than extended marketing mix. So here we focus upon your B part, which is, see, if we talk about the basic, tends to be usually used by organizations that are selling tangible goods. Tangible goods. Tangible goods means the goods that are I can touch, mainly maybe like a car. For example, here I'm manufacturing computer components. So for basic, we always look at the tangible goods, and then to the answer goes on to this, because computer components is a tangible good, right? Which of the following is not part of marketing mix? People, see, you have your four P's of marketing mix, and then you also have your three P's of marketing mix, if you know, right? Three, I'll just write it down. So you have people, you have processes, and you also have physical evidence, right? So people cannot be the answer because it's all talking about not. Promotion cannot be the answer. Physical, public relation is your answer for marketing mix, right? So you should know, many students, are confused because they just know these four P's of marketing mix, but there are four plus three P's of marketing mix, which are these, right? Next question. Which element of marketing mix are the following situations concerned with? So we have to talk about product and place. Let's see. A company manufactures and sells board games. Okay, this is our product. It is currently considering the packaging, quality, design of the board games as part of the strategic review. So of course it is a product. We're focusing mainly on a product. A product is this. We're talking about the place, or the place where we are selling the product. So of course this is a product. we're talking about product mix, right? A key decision where reviewing the marketing mix is whether to sell directly to the customer or indirectly through an intermediary. This is again your, this is your place. Why? Because here we are discussing about your whether we should sell it directly or indirectly. This is an issue actually. This is a place. If you look at your study text, this is actually a place issue if we talk about. I'll just also show you once if I actually have this open. So if you see in your study text, this is very rarely that I do, but let's see. Yeah, here. If you see here, these are, we talked about your place, right? This was a place that we're selling directly or indirectly. This is actually an issue. So you can read this part and you'll get a better knowledge of this question. So let's move forward. A business is planning to launch a new product. It plans to sell this product in Europe and America, but will charge more in America as it feels Americans to customers will be willing to pay more. Okay, so here they are doing price discrimination. Will be willing to pay more. What type of pricing strategy is the business considering? Okay, now they're talking about the strategy only, and I think I made the answer clear as well. This is price discrimination because in country A and in country B, they are, for example, if I've launched a product and in country A, I'm selling it at 50 because I think that the market is sensitive to the price. For example, if I'm selling in India, I think the if I sell it at 50, more people will buy it. The quantity will increase because people here tend to spend less on my type of product. And in country B, for example, I'm talking about maybe Europe only. Let's take Europe, right? If I take Europe, maybe in that place, my product can be sold at 100 because people are willing to pay more in this country, in this place than my country. So that is the reason that I'm doing a price discrimination over here, right? So that is price discrimination. Again, I think this is there in your study text as well. If you see over here, just a minute, I'll show you so that you have a clear cut idea also. See here, you have all of these pricing tactics which are there in this. And if you see price discrimination, different prices are set for the same product in different markets, right? So this is your answer. Let's move forward with the next question. Sorry. Okay. Printers are available to buy very cheaply, for sure. However, this is a very daily life example. If you see, this is a very daily life. If you will also relate to this, let's discuss this question. um However, the cartridges required to operate them are very expensive. What kind of pricing strategy are the printer manufacturing uses? So basically, this is, if you see, this is captive product pricing. Because see, printers, if you printer is a one-off thing that a person will take. So if the printer, even if I make the printers for rupees 10,000, for example, right? But I make the cartridges expensive, which is a repetitive product. I'll buy printer once, but I have to buy the cartridges many a times. Like it is a repeated product, so I'll make this expensive so that the overall cost is covered. So that is the reason this is correct answer. If you see over here also captive product marketing here, this is used when customers must buy two products. The first one is the cheap that attract the customers, but the second one is expensive once they are captive because they've already bought the printer. So of course they will have to buy the cartridges as well to use the printer. Printer was cheap, but your cartridges was expensive, right? So this was your answer. Next question: at which stage of strategic management process will the organization have to segment its market? So here we're talking about the segmentation at market. So this will be your about your choice. This will be about your choice because then we will be having for our target customers, right? Segmentation takes place when we are talking about the target customers or target attractive customers. We have to attract our target audience towards our product, right? So I think this is the last question. Yeah. Last question. Promotion is about encouraging customers to buy the organization's products or services by moving them into four stages. So you have four stages over here as well, which in your book has a very short name as well, so that you remember that, which is IDA, ADA. So you can remember by this mnemonic, so that you also you remember the sequence, the stages, the sequence of this promotional strategy. So you have your first is your awareness. You first make aware the people aware about your product. Then you talk about their interest. If they're interested in the product, you also talk about their interest, which type of product they are interested in. Then you generate a desire, and of course then there's action. So this is your this thing. Now awareness is first, so two will be your first, this or this can be your answer. Interest fourth, so this A is your answer. So just understand this mnemonic and you'll be good to go with this question. So if we are done with the kid questions for this chapter as well. If you have any more doubts or any more questions, you can comment down below, or you can also reach us out on our Instagram page, which is being ACCA, and we'll be happy to help you. See you in the next video.